Hi everyone, I'm Reena Agustine and welcome to Community Impact. We bring to you the people who are making a difference in the community. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Pria Camilla Shiam, who is a dancer, a student, an influencer and a mother. Please welcome my beautiful guest, Pria.
Thank you so much for that. Thanks for having me.
Priya, I have known you for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
From the time when Jahan was one.
Yes.
And you have amazed me and so many women out there by the act that you're doing right now, looking after Jahan, studying, and following your passion of dance.
Yeah, thank
Let's
you
start.
so
How do you
much.
do it? What motivates you?
What motivates me? Actually, Jahan motivates me. I think before Jahan, my life was very different. I think I wasn't going after everything with as much vigor as I am doing now. And I think as soon as I became a mother, it became very clear to me that, okay, it's a privilege right now to do things for myself. So that kind of, drove me into pursuing my own life and my own passions. And it honestly made me a better mother, as I say a lot. I think that, dance and being a part of this, community in Brisbane, that, the arts community with dancers and, you and everyone, it's actually impacted my life and Jahan's life in such a big way. So yeah, it all ties in together.
So you're a Goldie girl from Gold Coast.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you grew up there?
Yeah, I did. So we moved here when I was 7, so I lived there pretty much all my life up until I got married. And so yeah, I've only been in Brisbane for around almost 4 years now. Yeah, but now this has become home. That's always been home, and when I go back I love it, but Brisbane, I think I found like my place here with like, all my friends and yeah.
Yeah, I have always seen you saying that, my friends are my family.
100%.
You have always said that.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Well, honestly, I think this is the first time in my life I have found friends that have reached a stage of intimacy with me where they are a very integral part of my life and my home, and with everything that has happened in my life, how my life has changed. I think I have found friends who are there for me through every situation, through thick and thin. They are who I run to. They are who encourage me, motivate me. They're there to listen to me. They're there to show me the right direction when I need it, and they're just there unconditionally. And it's the type of love that sometimes I haven't even found in family. And so that's why I like to say my friends are literally my family. Yeah.
Fantastic. Priya, you were very young when you had Jahan.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
So yeah, I was 19 when I found out that I was pregnant. I was with my, at the time, boyfriend. And so yeah, we had been dating for 2 years. We were serious. Our families, knew about us and they knew each other. And yeah, so he was in Brisbane. I was in Gold Coast. He was studying to be a pilot and I was, studying to be a naturopath. And yeah, so we met by chance. Accidentally got pregnant, but I wouldn't even say accident. I'd say it's a beautiful surprise because it changed both of our lives. Yeah, so, and then we had to tell our parents, and their only condition was that we get married before Jahan is born, so we had a bit of a hasty wedding. And yeah, we just tried to make it work because I knew that I wanted to keep the child.
That's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you have to get married.
Yes.
Why is that?
It's a very good question. We asked them the same thing. I think for them it was very much, it's just how they're raised. It's the big thing in the Indian community that, having a child out of wedlock is very looked down upon. It's taboo. They were worried about what society would say. And those kind of were the reasons that, drove the marriage, which is, to be honest, it's not a very good reason for marriage. I think you should marry if you're in love and you feel like the person is right for you and you want to spend, forever with them. With us, I mean, we were in love, but I think we were not at the stage where we were sure whether we were the right people for each other. Yeah.
So your marriage drifted apart.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say that. I think we were very much bonded by the fact that we had a child, and we were very good friends because we knew each other for a long time. And we went through one of life's biggest circumstance together. Like being pregnant, having a child, and that did bring us closer together for a while. I would say we were a good team, and we still are a good team in parenting Jahan. But we did end up having differences personally, which became too apparent to continue on.
So when you say differences,
Yeah.
what example can you give me?
So when we met, right, we were in different stages, a different stage of life than we are now. You know, I was very young. I was only 17 when I met him. And I think at that age, young love, it's a very like exhilarating thing,
Yeah,
right?
everything looks like a dream world, and you're in a paradise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of chemistry, a
Yeah.
lot of hormones, a lot
Yeah.
of passion. But the thing is, that's not enough to make it last for a lifetime. You need to have a deep understanding of each other. You need to be compatible enough to live together, go through the seriousness of life together. And, although we had some elements that we were compatible in, I think there was no emotional compatibility. So I think we just did not have a deep understanding of what the other person needed, and circumstances happened, and it just got to a point where we both realized we were not happy together, and that we both needed something different. And maybe it has to do with love language too, because that's a huge part of being in a long-lasting marriage or relationship, is that you need to have love languages that match each other.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I grew up in India, and
Yeah.
when people get divorced, it's looked down upon. Okay,
Absolutely.
So you being so young,
Yeah.
and when you get divorced, people actually point out, "Oh, see, we told you not to get married to this man. He's not the right one." Did you get these kind of comments?
Yeah. So I was very, I don't know how to say it, comfortable, I guess, with divorce, because my parents are divorced as well. So I was a child of divorce. So I was very, I had seen that growing up, because, I saw how my parents dealt with the backlash from the Indian community due to the divorce. I saw, my grandparents and everyone, and, freak out over it pretty much. When I decided that I would get divorced, I knew that there would be a little bit of that, but obviously growing up here, it's a little different to, being in India getting divorced.
Yeah.
It's a much huger thing, whereas here we're surrounded by, single mums, single dads everywhere.
You're away from relatives. That's the main.
Exactly. But not to say that we don't have that here too. I think, but the biggest thing I heard was the opposite of what you said. It was more like, yes, things have happened, but why can you not make it work? It wasn't like, you shouldn't have married him. It was, stay with him. It was stay for the chase.
No matter what.
Yes, stay no matter what, no matter if you're unhappy, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, for your child, you need to stay. You can't leave.
What you said right now, there
Yeah.
are so many marriages.
Yeah.
And the relationship only lasts only because they don't want to go drift
Yeah.
apart or go away or have a divorce
Yeah.
because they have a child.
Exactly.
Isn't that wrong?
Yeah, even more than the fact that it's wrong, it actually is doing the opposite of what they want to do, which is create a happy home for the child, right? They want to have like a happy home with a mother and a dad. But the truth is, children are very intelligent. I know that even me, when I was growing up, I picked up a lot of things, that were happening around me, especially when my parents were fighting or anything, and it affected me a lot growing up, while they were together. Actually, I think I started to have a more peaceful, stable life only after the divorce happened. And I knew that, and that's something that made me okay with the fact that I was heading towards this direction. And I honestly, truly believe that it was actually the tipping point where I realized that I have to leave, was a point where I saw it affecting Jahan. And at that point, we both said, as much as, this should be about us, it's more about Jahan.
Yeah.
That, if we stay together, we are creating a toxic household for our child to grow up in. That's not okay. And that's going to, the first 5 years of a child is so important in their
Yes,
development. For the rest of
absolutely.
their life, that determines who they're going to grow up to be, emotionally and everything. And growing up around fighting and stuff, it causes a lot of anxiety in children. I know it did for me. As I was growing up, watching my parents fight or anticipating them getting into a fight would cause a lot of anxiety. And I do carry that on with me, and it's a struggle to get over it as an adult too. I didn't want to do the same thing to Jahan. I could see it was happening. So I had to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your ex was okay with that?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. It was very much, it was my decision. But I think, and at this point now, we both look back on it, and we both agree that it was the best thing. So even though if at the start I kind of did make that final call, right now we both agree that, you know, life is so much better for him. He's grown a lot from the experience. I have too. Jahan is so happy. Like, he is extremely happy, happier than he was when we were together, and that's very clear to see. So that's it. Yeah, we're really happy with the situation.
Priya, you're a student.
Yes.
So what
I
are you
am.
studying?
So I'm studying to be a naturopath. So I'm doing a Bachelor of Health Science. Yeah. So.
And you have done a course in yoga.
Yes.
So why?
So that was the first thing that I made my parents freak out over. Was so I was originally studying psychology in uni, and I did a semester, and I just realized that it just really wasn't for me. I wasn't happy. I wasn't, you know, it was a very interesting subject, and I think the reason I went into it is because I'm very captivated by human beings and how we function and everything, and how to heal. I think I've always been someone who is a healer. Like, I want to heal. And in that process heal myself too. So that's why most people go into psychology. And then I just realized that it wasn't the right thing for me. And once that realization came, I actually was going to yoga classes at the time at this place called Shanti Yoga in Gold Coast. And the guru there, her name is Shanti Gowans. She's grown up in an ashram since she was 4. So it was very much traditional yoga, not really the workout yoga. So, you know, it was... So I decided, okay, I saw that they were offering courses, you know, just like a diploma of yoga teaching. And I was like, okay, every time I went to that place, I felt like I was, you know, I was healing. And I felt a pull. So I was like, I'm going to try this out. So I told my parents, I'm going to stop psychology. I don't know if I'll come back to it.
Oh my God.
I know, it was...
How did you do that? How did you do that?
I did. I just said, you know, I'm not happy. I'm going to defer it. I don't know if I'll ever come back. But right now, I feel like this is what I need to do. And they were like, you know, usual. They were like, what are you going to do being a yoga teacher? You won't earn anything. This is pointless.
Oh my God.
And I was like, you know what? No, my heart is telling me I need to do this. So I did. And it was honestly the best decision I have made in my life.
And why do you say that?
So the place, you know, it was offering, you know, a course, and although it was like about teaching yoga, it was a lot more about learning about yogic traditions, like, so, you know, where yoga came from, the philosophy of yoga, which is very much to master, you know, your mind and enlightenment and everything like that. So the heavy focus was on those type of subjects. And in this course, there were people from all over the world coming in. So because, you know, for visas and stuff, you know, people would take this course. So we had students from Brazil, from Spain, from, you know, every corner of the world that you can imagine. And you know, I think when people come to a place like a yoga community, you know, there are many around the world, and, you know, people even go to India just to join these communities, right? And it's always, people go there for healing. And so when people come to that point in their life where they feel like they need to heal, usually they have a lot of experience, a lot of life experience that they've gone through, a lot of wisdom. And they come in together and the conversations are different.
Because they all have the same mindset.
Exactly, yeah. So, and they're all in the same stage of life where they're reflective. And, you know, the conversations and the friendships that I've made there, it's different to real life. It wasn't something that I could learn in a lecture hall in uni.
No.
It just was not. You know, so the amount I grew as a person from there, you know, with all my trauma as a child, I think that's the place where I started to become me.
And heal.
Yes, and heal, and just, you know, grow into a person who wasn't so reactive, who knew how to deal with things that life threw at me, who knew how to be healthier, how to eat healthier, how to cook, how to live life in a healthy way. And it just changed my life. Even though I don't think I will, who knows, you never know, but I don't think I'll become a yoga teacher. It doesn't matter. It was still the best thing that I've ever done.
You gave it a go and you were happy about it.
Exactly. And that's what led into me doing naturopathy, because a part of the yoga course was Ayurveda, which is, you know, Indian traditional medicine.
Yeah.
And I got very captivated by the way that they heal. My mom's a doctor, and you know, was very used to conventional medicine growing up, popping pills and everything like that. And then when I heard of this approach where it was like, you can literally prevent disease by just eating well, doing the right things and supporting yourself with natural things that, it's not just treating the symptoms, it's treating you, like treating the cause, right? And yeah, once I heard about this approach, I was very interested. And just like it was fate, I happened to be living in an apartment at the time, and I Googled natural health courses. And it came up with Endeavour College. And I realized I've been living above it the whole time because it's in the same building.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is destiny. This is literally destiny that I need to go. And once I walked in, I was like, yeah, I've found what I wanted to do. So yeah, since then I haven't looked back. Even though it's difficult at times, I genuinely feel like I can get through it just because I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, because looking after Jahan and studying.
it's hard.
And you're vegan.
Yes, I'm vegan.
Why?
So I actually I wasn't a vegan all my life. I was, a non-vegetarian. And I turned vegan actually.
A non-vegetarian?
Yeah, I wasn't vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah, actually about 2 months after the baby was born, I was spending a lot of time sitting there breastfeeding him, just watching random things. And I remember coming across this speech by, I think it's Gary Yourofsky, I have to look up the name. I think that's his name. So he basically gave a speech about veganism. And I just didn't go back after that, to be honest. I think the thing I connected to was the dairy industry. So the meat industry, I mean, we've all seen, I think what I connected to was, the fact that cows are, milked, obviously, and the milk is meant for their baby.
Yeah.
And once I connected to that, because I could tell I was feeding my baby, and I just connected, and I was like, okay, I think if there's a chance, if there's a way that I can, live without causing this, I would like to try. So actually, to be honest, since that night, I went out, I threw out all the dairy and all the meat in my fridge, and I haven't looked back. Yeah, and
Just with that one video
literally.
Wow.
And after 3 weeks, my ex-husband, he was actually watching, he was just very, weirded out by the fact that I had suddenly just changed my entire life. And he's like, why? And I was like, I saw this speech, and he watched it. And since that day, he's also vegan, and now Jahan is vegan too. So,
oh wow, I have to watch that video.
It's an incredible speech. It's a little hard to watch, but it's very confronting. But it literally changed all our lives, and Jahan has been vegan since he was born. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Priya, knowing Jahan, he just turned 3, right?
Yeah.
And you're studying.
Yeah.
But along with that, you're also following your passion of dancing.
Yeah.
I have seen you dance, your dance
Oh, thank
videos,
you.
and you perform at places.
Yeah.
And you are so good at it.
Oh.
So when did you start?
So I started, oh my God, 2019. So around the time
So
I
just
met you.
recently you started this Bollywood
Yes,
dancing.
yes.
You never danced before?
No, I did. I mean, if you count dancing in front of the TV as a child. But when I met you, that's when I had just met Amy as well. And I started, doing this.
Wow,
No,
professional.
definitely
I
not.
thought you have been practicing for a long time.
No.
So yeah, tell me.
Okay, so I think we all grew up with the Bollywood dream.
Absolutely.
We watch Bollywood movies.
Love it. Yeah.
So that's very ingrained in me as a child. I was very passionate about Bollywood. But to be honest, I got into this only because after being isolated, during the first newborn years, I really wanted to get out and meet people in Brisbane. And I had never had many Indian friends growing up. In Gold Coast, I actually even have one Indian friend.
Oh, wow.
So and then I was getting really jealous of all these people, all these Indian people hanging out together, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to have Indian friends. So I was like, okay, why don't I join a Bollywood dance school? So that's how I went into Dance Masala. I joined, and I actually, through that, I did one show there, and on that first show, Amy was in the audience, and so were a lot of people who are my friends now, and she saw me and she asked if I wanted to collaborate on a dance video with her, and I was like, I have no idea how to choreograph. I don't know. But she was like, can you choreograph something? I was like, I'll take this opportunity. This is like, content creating, entertainment. This has always been something I wanted to do, always. So I was like, let's do it. And so I choreographed Saki Saki. and we did the
Oh,
first
I
video.
love that song and your performance in that.
Oh, thank you.
Very well
but
done.
yeah, so that just went on from there. I think that video reached a lot of people, and then the whole Instagram journey started. I just realized I loved the process so much. I remember the first shoot, just being so excited to create it, and then like seeing the end process, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I can do more of this. Like I didn't realize I could choreograph, but maybe I can. And then I just kept going from there, met more dancers to collaborate with. And at this point, we are, like sitting at and through that, I gained an audience in India. So most of my audience on Instagram is from India, and it just went on from there. And I love it so much. It's something, I think, social media nowadays, because of that we have this creative liberty, right? Because back then in the days, it was like a game show where only the best or the more popular people got the opportunity and a platform to show their talents.
True.
Whereas nowadays, everyone's a creator.
Yeah.
Everyone's showing off their, skills in something. And it's actually beautiful because, we don't need to rely on anyone. We can just go for it. We can show
Have a phone.
Yeah.
Have a
that's
stand.
all it needs.
We don't need anyone to shoot for us.
Exactly.
We can do it ourselves.
Exactly. And to be honest, that is my main goal with that is creative expression. I think, when you're younger, you want the whole dream of going there and like doing all these big things and becoming a star and stuff. But to be like honest, this is very satisfying for me. Just this little online community where, I can show, what I'm doing. I can share my passions. That's it. It's satisfying me enough. Yeah.
And the talent of singing, Priya.
Oh.
Many people don't know that you sing.
I do. I like to sing.
Yeah. So I have seen only one or two of the videos that you have posted on your Instagram.
Yeah.
So do you professionally sing? When did you start? And
so before the yoga thing, I actually studied music too. So I'm like kind of a jack of all trades.
great.
No, master of none though, to be very honest. But
Happy with that actually. Try everything.
Yeah, it's actually, it made me learn a lot, trying all these different career paths. But I think music was something ever since I was a kid. I was like, no, I'm going to become a singer. I'm going to be a musician. It came from my grandmother, and she's the one who raised me, and she was a singer and a poet, and a poet, yeah. So she's actually pretty well known in our area in Madurai, and she has a few published work. Yeah, she's published a few books and stuff. But so she was a singer, a beautiful singer, and she kind of put that passion into me growing up and listening to Tamil music and listening to Hindi music. I decided eventually, R&B became my passion, rhythm and blues and soul and stuff. And so I went and studied that, which was beautiful. Like I met so many beautiful musicians, and I started my first YouTube video is actually like a singing video. So that's where I wanted to go with content creation. I wanted to sing. But I think I hit a point where I started to have a bit of an identity crisis with singing. I was like, no, but my heart really wants Indian music. That is where my heart is.
Yeah.
And but my identity was always Western music, so I didn't know how to switch from that. And switching from that, because Western music is so different from Indian music, I had a bit of trouble transitioning. I didn't know the language, and I got a bit insecure, to be honest, about posting,
Hindi music.
Yeah, Hindi music. I just got a little bit self-conscious, you could say. And I do feel very vulnerable and emotional when I sing. So I think it's been like, whereas dancing, it's like you just dance. It's just spreading joy. It's entertainment.
Is it because you really, really love music and singing, you don't want to post or don't want to create something that you're not happy about? Is that the fear?
Yeah, maybe there's a bit of perfectionism happening there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have recorded work that I keep listening to, and I'm like, when will I ever get the courage to post it? So I don't know. I hopefully will.
You have to. The viewers are waiting.
It is my number one passion, though. I do love dancing. It is one of my passions and creative outlets, but I think music it's something very deep and personal to me.
So do you feel the same way, like, when I listen to music?
Yeah.
So when I listen to Tamil music, it's different.
Yes.
And the Bollywood, the Hindi music is different.
Yes, yeah.
And the English music is different.
Yeah.
And they create whole new moods.
Yeah. And emotions, right?
Emotions,
and Indian music is just so deep, though. Most of the Hindi songs I listen to, I don't understand what they're saying, but I don't even need to. I do go and look at the translations because I love the poetry in it, but most of the times I feel everything because music is a universal language. So I think And also the language of, Tamil music, for instance. So deep, so poetic.
Touches the soul.
It does, it does. So one day, hopefully.
Yes, one day, make it soon. We all are waiting.
Yeah.
Priya, if there's one advice that you would like to give all the youngsters who are struggling with the question of should I keep the baby, should I divorce, should I just walk away?
Yes.
What would you advise them?
First of all, none of these are easy decisions. Actually, there's one thing that I read somewhere, that there's no such thing as a right or wrong decision in life.
Yeah.
There are good decisions that lead to positive outcomes, and then there are not bad decisions, but just decisions that lead to lessons, right?
Yeah.
Mistakes and lessons. Both are equally necessary. You need the bad decisions too in life. That's what creates the story. That's what makes you grow as a person. If you were doing things right all your life, you don't learn anything and you don't grow. So whatever decision you make, there's no right or wrong. You really need to just look for your truth. Look for what is your heart saying. That's what I always say.
Follow your heart.
Exactly, and it's cliche, but it's how I've lived my life up until this point. I've always done what the inner voice is telling me. You just have to learn to drown out all the white noise around you. And that includes parents, that includes society, that includes all of the traditions that we've grown up with. We don't want to disappoint people. We don't want to disappoint our parents especially.
Especially, yeah.
But the thing is that even if parents go through a phase of where they feel like they're disappointed in you, that is also necessary for them to eventually see you as like a whole human being.
And a grown person.
Yeah,
too.
and eventually that's a part of the process of your relationship with your parents too, that they will eventually come to see you as a person who has, stood on their own, who has made decisions, make mistakes, and they will be proud of you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They definitely will be.
Yeah, they say that you are what the decisions you make out of. So
You are,
whatever decisions I think you have made, you look so happy. So I think
Thank you.
follow your heart
Yes.
and make the decision right now.
Exactly.
Do not suffer.
Yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
it?
Yeah.
So Priya, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
You
for
are an
having me.
inspiration, an influencer, a dancer, and a mother.
Yeah.
A pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.